Good day friends, welcome to my YouTube channel of Astrologer Anil Aggarwala. I've been talking about the Mars, Saturn and Demon Rahu. They are on wheel, they are on the wheel of disaster, they are on the wheel of catastrophe. And ever since Mars has ingressed in the sign Aquarius, and Rahu is afflicted. Now, as I had mentioned in all my articles and my previous videos also, that out of 38 to 40 days in which Mars and Saturn will be together in the sign Aquarius, Rahu will be afflicted for 31 days. And it is, I had predicted first of all that from 28th February to 6th of March, it is a critical time and it is also a critical time for the stock and financial markets. Then I had predicted that from 12th of March to 19th of March, again, it will be critical because Rahu is afflicted, Mars and Saturn are together, though so there will be effect on the stock and financial markets. And accordingly, it has happened. Now, from 25th of March, it is again going to be in a very explosive state, all these three planets. And as a matter of fact, till July 2024, the conditions are explosive. I've written an article, March 25th to July 2024, prone to wars, terrorism, tsunami, catastrophes, earthquakes, fall and then rise in the stock markets. So, I will read out. In fact, it is all repetition, but I am telling you what was predicted and what is happening is absolutely parallel to what I had predicted. Mars, Saturn, Demon, Rahu on the driving wheel of catastrophes from 25th March to July 24 and till June also, till the first week of June also. I have been mentioning, okay, the red planet Mars and Roman god Saturn and North Node will be on the driving wheel of catastrophes parallel to 1984 and 1994. It does not mean that exactly parallel, but as the catastrophes had happened, there could be similar happenings. The conjunction of Mars and Saturn in Aquarius between 15th March to 23rd April and then total solar eclipse in a total watery sign Pisces can be explosive for Canada, Mexico, US since the eclipse is visible in these countries. Worse for Canada since as per the solar eclipse and the Pisces new moon chart, the conjunction of the planetary war between Mars and Saturn is taking place in the 8th house. Mars and Saturn conjunction in the 7th house of the natal chart of US and the solar eclipse in the 8th house in watery sign can prove like a bolt from the blue as per the time frame above. Unfortunately, the conjunction of Mars and Saturn is taking place in the 6th house of Russia and the solar eclipse in the 7th house of wars in the foundation chart over the natal Jupiter. It seems that the solar eclipse in totally water sign Pisces on the first week of April will be a bolt from the blue for the world due to tsunami, especially where the eclipses are visible. The troubles related to rains, water, floods, tsunami and earthquakes are on the cards, especially in Mexico, Canada, US and other parts of the world like Japan, Indonesia. So many other countries which are on the what do you call the oceans, on the related near to oceans. I have been mentioning in all my time, all these time frames in my articles on my web page, which have started to prove on spot, especially from the 12th March 2024 onwards. Now read what has happened in the time frame and today, which was predicted well in advance. A fire broke out in Ujjain Mahakal temple when Bhasma Arti was being performed at the sanctum as a part of holy festivities. It is all the doing and all, because Mars and Saturn are on the driving wheel. I had written so many articles where I had explained that the conditions are absolutely parallel to the Blue Star operation which happened in 1984, parallel to June and then October 1984. At least 14 people sustained burn injuries in the incident. US-Mexico border tensions with migrants escalate on the border near El Paso. Tensions between Texas troopers and migrants escalated on the US side of the border near El Paso. The Texas troopers fired non-lethal projectiles into the crowd that were attempting to dismantle reservoir barriers. Now, next, nearly 2,000 earthquakes shake Canada, Vancouver Island in a single day as predicted for Canada in my articles. Now, we come to read my articles for Canada on the total solar eclipse falling in the first week of April, and in the sign rising is Pisces at the time of the eclipse, and the Mars and Saturn in the third house, and as per the chart which is rising, which is of Cancer Lagna and in the 8th house. The predictions seem to be coming true due to the following happenings, and the countries are in war mood also. 143 dead in Russia terror attack. All 4 gunmen among arrested. The Islamic State group on Saturday claimed responsibility for the attack on Croesus City Hall in Moscow. Vladimir Putin prepares for imminent conflict with NATO, raising fears of early war outbreak in Europe. The recent assessments from a US-based think tank suggest that Russian President Vladimir Putin may be gearing up for a conflict with NATO sooner than anticipated. The Institute of the Study of Wars highlighted various indicators pointing towards Russia's preparation for a large full-scale conventional war with the alliance. NATO territory for 39 seconds, sparking growing concern over escalation of the Ukraine war. A Russian cruise missile flew over NATO territory for 39 seconds, triggering a major alert amid fear over an escalation of wars in Ukraine. I have already pointed out that this time frame, especially near the eclipses and when Mars and Saturn are in planetary war, there could be the brawl between the countries could escalate and take a very bad and a filthy dimension. The Polish armed forces confirmed the incident in a statement on X, saying there was a violation of Polish airspace by one of the cruise missiles launched overnight by long-range aviation by the Russian Federation. I have already predicted the relation between Russia and NATO countries going for a toss. You can read my articles. All articles are present in my website. There is no post-mortem. I do not do post-mortem. Sunday morning Mahim, Putin unleashes wrath on Ukraine with wave of airstrikes. Now this war is going to escalate and become very ugly. Zelensky rubbishes Putin's claim of Ukraine-handled Moscow terror attack. I have written this article about a week before. Will the brawl between Putin and Macron take ugly shape towards WW3 in 2024? Astrological analysis. For Iran, the conjunction is taking place in the 8th house of the natal chart is also explosive. Read my article below when the invasion of Russia on Ukraine started. I have clearly pointed out in that the war will not come to an end easily, and the war will escalate in the year 2024 when Mars and Saturn get together. As per theory of a war is prone in the Red Sea, as I have been mentioning in all my articles during in the above time frame. Note my predictions. As per theory of inevitability, when the eclipses take place in the 1 second axis of luminaries, 1 7 axis and 4 10 axis, and the dasha in the chart, in the natal chart or the foundation chart, and the dasha of a planet which has the capacity to bring a downfall, and when Mars activates the sensitive arc of explosions, the final results are experienced. In this context, the dates are only being given to potential clients who are approaching me personally. This is mainly due to fake astrologers copy pasting and exploiting the clients for these sensitive dates. I have found, as per my earlier prediction, 99.9% fake astrologers copy paste my predictions. The worst effect will come to US, since all the parameters are getting activated in the foundation chart of US with Leo ascendant and Mars and Saturn conjunction in the 7th house of wars over the natal moon, and the total eclipse of April taking place in the 8th house in a totally watery sign. Hence, wars prone in the time frame in the Red Sea is not ruled out. Middle Eastern countries, US, Russia, France, NATO countries are prone to war-like conditions, and tsunami. The whole world will be troubled by tsunami. Reason being that after the eclipse, the Mars is the sensitive planet which activates the eclipse point, and then there is explosion. Things start when the eclipses take place, and the height of things is that when Mars reaches the eclipse point, it triggers the situations, and it is the worst time somewhere in July. As per the Pisces new moon chart of Sagittarius Lagna, the conjunction of Mars Saturn taking place in the 3rd house of borders, as per the angles of Mars in Aquarius on 15th. All this shows involvement of warlike situation in the country and terrorism, especially for India. Terrorism and border clashes, because Mars and Saturn will be in the 3rd house of the foundation chart, not of the eclipses chart. As per India foundation chart, conjunction of Mars and Saturn will take place in the 10th house from the Taurus Lagna, and in the 8th house from Moon. Mars aspects the Rahu in Lagna, and Saturn aspects the Ketu in the 7th house. Thus, the condition in the country will not be conducive. I fear the government will bring some ordinance which may be opposed by opposition parties, and there may be a stir for the same in terms of strike and even riots. We have already seen what all is happening, the Blue Star operation by the government and people opposing it. It also points out that security lapse as per the dates 26th May to onwards till the first week of July is prone to untoward happenings from Lagna of the foundation chart of India Aquarius, the 10th house, and Saturn, the 10th lord from the moon, and Mars, the 10th lord. Saturn is the 10th lord from Lagna, and Mars is the 10th lord from moon. Mars is also the 7th and the 12th lord. Hence, espionage from foreign elements to spoil the image of the Prime Minister is on the cards. Hence, total security for the head of the country is most essential till first week of July. As already pointed out, countries prone to catastrophes are US, Iran, Israel, Russia, Canada, Japan, Indonesia. In a nutshell, catastrophes, economy breaks, earthquakes, volcanoes, political hazards, solar eclipse, and Pisces new moon chart for Canada in the first week of April on Monday. Hence, the king of the year is Mars, and the minister of the year is Saturn, and both are placed in the 8th house where the planetary war is taking place. The relation with India will become ugly and the country will also suffer. It will have real estate problems, it will have economic crisis, it will have also terrorism and mass happenings. All this is authenticated by the Veda of Mars and Saturn in the Rashi and Nakshatra Sangata Chakra, which is explosive for war like condition in the world and which has been termed as conditions like bloodbath as per the book of mundane astrology of K. Rao. The chart below shows that warlike conditions in the world due to Veda of Mars and Saturn in the same star in the Nakshatra Sangata Chakra from March to April and then from middle April to end of April. These combinations are taking place in the 7th house of the US formation chart as already explained, and the things are not at all healthy. The time frame from the 12th March to first week of July is prone to catastrophe or magnitude. Note my predictions. If anybody wants concrete predictions and sensitive dates, I am there to give as per my professional consultations. All has been predicted well in advance on my web page since Mars and Saturn and Demon Rahu are on the steering wheel of catastrophe. So this is all, friends. I just wanted to share that things are going beyond control, and as I had predicted parallel to 1984 and 1994. The 1984 was gruesome, and we all know that after the Blue Star operation there was assassination of the Prime Minister. I fear such happenings, some similar happenings around the world. It is not necessary that it can be India, it can be in US also. So this is all, friends. I just wanted to share. Thank you very much for listening to me. Have a good day. Good luck. Bye bye.